Listen, the conversation right here is going to get real intricate, and it's about my investors and what you're looking to do with your money. What better way to figure out how to really improve or increase your passive income or your active income, depending on what it is that you like to do, than real estate? Something that's solid, something that's tangible. We all know about trading, day trading, investing, IRAs, all these different types of money making money accounts and things like that. The cryptocurrency game, I like to play in that one too. All of these are different types of revenue strains that will help make you wealthy, right? Which at the end of the day, who doesn't like having some extra cash to do the things that you love to do, right? So today's conversation is real estate, okay? And this is my groove. This is what I like to do. You guys know when I get in my groove, okay? All right, so here it is, real estate, okay? How to become a commercial real estate investor. And I'm going to tell you those steps. Okay, I'm actually going to break it down for you, starting from nothing, because right now people are running around. They're like, all right, so what am I supposed to do? How does this work? How do I get out there and make money? So my goal right now is, I want to cover 3 major points. I wrote them down right here as I'm looking down at my trusty pad. Okay, are you ready to take investing serious with real estate? Okay, that's the first thing I want to cover. The other thing is have you wondered what the difference between commercial and residential real estate? Have you ever wondered what that is? Because a lot of people run around, they're like commercial, I do commercial real estate, I invest in this or I invest in that. And some people do residential investment, income producing properties, and they don't know what that is or even how to start, right? Some people think there's only one way to start, but there's several ways to start. Okay, and I'm going to teach you about one and get you really skillful with that and let you know how easy it is for you to actually achieve real estate wealth, right? The last topic that I want to cover is, have you wondered what it takes to actually get started? And that's how I ended with giving those 3 points, is exactly how I want to start. That's exactly what I want to dig into, is what it takes to get started. So aside from the obvious, okay, you need to be at this point, unless it's money coming from friends and family and wealth of some sort, or borrowed money or credit cards, whatever it is, nefarious activities you're into, okay, you have to start. Okay, I don't care what it is that you do. I don't even want to know, because some people do some real froggy things and some people are into some legitimate things. Okay, and I guess it's all legitimate according to whoever you talk to, right? But in this case, what I want to cover is actually getting started. Okay, you have, let's just take your average kid coming out of high school, probably interested in college. Maybe they're trying to get in college. Maybe they haven't started college yet. Maybe they're like, you know what? I don't want to do college. Whatever their situation is. And but you know what? I'm working. I make, let's put something together. Let's create a scenario, okay, where they make, in this day and age, let's say $70,000 a year. Okay, $70,000 a year. All right. So they have a decent income. They're out there, they're doing something decent. They're making a little bit of cash. Okay, 70,000 used to be the thing to do. What was that? Combined income back when I was a kid, a combined household income, making that kind of money. Your family was doing pretty darn good. What was it? 45 and 45,000. Husband and wife, maybe if they were both working, or if one was staying home and the other one was making, you could actually have a house and all those different things. Not today. Sorry, buddy, it's not happening. All right, so you go, you see a real estate specialist wherever you are, wherever you live, and you're like, I want to buy a home, right? I want to invest in real estate, but I want to buy a place to stay. And depending on the knowledge of that person depends on your future, right? Because they are going to hold your future in your hands, and they're going to give you the best advice that they can give you on what you need to do to be successful towards the goal of purchasing property. Okay? So, if that's the case, they're probably going to tell you, all right, based on your income making $70,000 a year, you qualify for something up to maybe $250,000, right? You're going to be like, okay, great. Now I'm ballparking numbers here because I want to get some points across. All right, so I'm just going to throw some round figures at you guys. All right, for my internet warriors, please, let's not get too critical about that. The lesson is about how you can get started here, not about what math and one plus one equals 5, right? So, all right. So in this case, right, you qualify for that property. It's $250,000. They go out there, they find you. They're like, you know what? For that number, let's see, we can either get you a townhouse or we can get you a really small single family home over in this area, maybe with no HOA. They're talking all these best case scenarios and stuff like that. I'm not that investor. I'm not that guy. That's not what I would tell you. And I'm not going to tell you that that's bad advice. Okay. I'm just going to sip my drink over here in the corner and watch. Right? But if you come to me, here's what I'm going to tell you. What are your goals? And you're going to be like, oh, well, I actually want to, I don't know. And I'm like, well, now that I've cornered you, got your back against the wall, what do you want to achieve? Well, are you going to college? You're like, no, okay. Do you have a skill? What do you do? Oh, well, this is my career. It's what I do. I'm a manager in this business, and I'm making $70,000 a year, and I've been doing it for 5 years or whatever. So that's why I'm in a management position. I'm doing pretty well, and I feel like I can go and buy a home. I'm like, awesome, this is great. So you're in the right direction. Is that something you want to retire and do, or what? You want to be able to ask those kind of questions. You want your realtor or your investment specialist to ask you those types of questions because they're key. Because they are key to where it is you plan on going forward. What I'm getting at is, you don't want a single family home. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you, hey, this is what you do. Is this house that you're buying, is this your dream home? No. It's not your dream home. No. Okay. So one day you're going to want to get that beautiful house that has everything you want, but you know that right now this purchase based on what you qualify is not the one. Right. Okay. How do you suspect that's going to happen? By the time you hit 20 years in the company that you're with, do you still think that you're going to be able to get that dream home? Let's be realistic. How much do you think you're going to make? You're going to spit some numbers. Oh, let's say you make about $100,000 a year, right? And it's just you, right? Maybe it's combined, you and your wife or your significant other or cousins or friends or whatever it is, combined income that your situation provides for you. And I'm going to say, well, what kind of dream home means a dream home to you? And you're going to describe that to you, and I'm going to tell you no. It's not going to work because by the time that happens, inflation happens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you're still not going to be able to attain that property. So how do we fast forward that? Well, get your mind out of the one-track thought of buying that condo or that townhouse or that single-family house. Because if you're going to go FHA, USDA, VA because you're a veteran, or conventional, you can still qualify for a multifamily property the same exact way. VA, FHA, USDA, conventional. Okay. VA and USDA being two very strict types of government programs. FHA, maybe third lenient, and then conventional. Okay. So in that sense, knowing that, they all allow you to buy a multifamily property. Well, what is a multifamily property? That is your triplex, your duplex, said that out of order, your quadplex, which is a 4. So 2 units, 3 units, or 4 units. Okay? Now, you qualify the same way. Here's the beauty behind that. Now, because you're going for that property, all right, you have to, they're going to look at it in the sense of whatever the total mortgage is for that property, although other people are living in it and there is rent money coming in, they need to see that your income covers the mortgage, not your income plus what they're bringing in. Not on this first purchase. Those other circumstances come in after. That becomes a whole different type of conversation that we can have. Right now, we're going Barney style and breaking it down so that you could see that you can do it, all right, and how you become a conventional, how you become a commercial, different C, investor. Okay, and it starts here. It starts here with that duplex, with that triplex, with that quad. Okay, those are what are considered non-commercial, residential properties because it is 4 units, the quad, and less. Okay, now that you know that, you know what game you're getting into. So once it becomes that +1, 4 and above, 5, 6, 20 units, okay, now you're playing the commercial game. Okay, so now you know fast forward where that goes. So let's back up to that first time home buyer. Buy yourself the duplex or the triplex. You're talking about, so if you don't mind, you know that you would be renting, and you'd be renting in an area that's probably less than pleasant unless you're going to spend outside of your means. You want to have a luxury rental, and because you're buying or you're in a luxury rental, you're spending at the top of your income, which is ridiculous. So therefore, you can't save where you want to save, so it's just not smart, right? So you're in that, let's say, the duplex, and you can find a nice duplex, decent, in a decent area. I'm not saying that you're in an area where you're going to get robbed if you take the trash outside, but you can find one for like $150,000 here in South Florida. Okay, even up to about $250,000. So let's say right in that $150,000, $250,000 range. All right, $250,000 for a duplex. Excellent. Those duplexes are typically 2 unit, 2 bedroom, 2 baths. Okay. Somewhere between, it can range between 900, 1100, 1200 square feet per unit. Okay. It ranges depending on where you find it, price per square foot and so forth, whatever that going rate is in that area. It's all key factors, right? So understanding that, you go and you find yourself one and you make sure one side is vacant because that's the only way you're going to qualify. All right, for the FHA or for the VA, the USDA, if I'm not mistaken, you have to reside in there, okay, on the property. Not so much for the FHA. It kind of goes back and forth. I think it's who you ask, depending on the lender, if I'm not mistaken. 100% VA, you need to live in there. And USDA, I'm not too savvy with. I'm familiar with their plan. However, I've never had anyone that's actually used it. Most of my buyers and my investors have been conventional jumbo loan, and I've had some VA. So, and then some FHA as well. So in this case, right, this is how you want to start because now you have your investment property. You qualified for the loan. Okay, so we looked at your loan to value ratio, we looked at your debt to income ratio and so forth. And then we decided, the lender has decided that on your own, you can pay the mortgage. Now that you have someone in there, that's huge. It's great because they're in there, and let's say the going rate in there is 12. Actually, it's closer to about $1,400 a month right now. So they're in there paying $1,400 a month. Your mortgage is probably going to be in that same ballpark. Let's say your mortgage is like $1,500, $1,600 a month. And then let's throw in, let's throw in your property tax, your annual figure there. And then what's that, like $3,000 a year, right? Let's throw in your insurance and your electric bill. Man, if you're paying $300 a month for your mortgage because the guy next door is paying the rest of your mortgage, it's huge. There's your first investment property. Because you're living in there for next to nothing. You're supporting another family, and you got it going on. You pay your bills on time for the next 2 years. You turn around, you save your cash that you would have been paying for a mortgage. Be smart. Okay, you get real strict with your money. For the next 2, maybe 3 years, you save your cash. Let's say you got about $20,000, $30,000 saved because you got real frugal with what you're doing. And you turn around, you say, you know what? I'm going to buy another duplex, but this time I'm going to go conventional. Okay, I'm going to put a 20% borrow down, all right, loan obligation. I'm going to get that loan, and then I'm going to go find one. And then you find now you got two. Now you got three tenants. You got two whole properties, right? Depending on how the parcel numbers are broken up, then you technically got four properties, right? And you're doing it. You're doing great. Okay? You are not a commercial investor yet, but you have investment properties. You are a landlord. And if you're smart, you have a team behind you. You have a handyman that can go in there and take care of all the small things. Hey, for $40, dude, go and check on the fuses over there and make sure that toilet flushes. Washing machine belt broke or something. I don't know, right? It's not a big deal. It's not hard. It's not difficult, right? Kick out a little bit of cash for that. Yes, sometimes you're going to have tenants that are a pain in the ass. It is what it is. That's the name of the game. And anything that you invest in, there's going to be an expense. So make sure that the items in your property are more durable. Spend the money for the granite countertops, because that way the countertops don't get burned. Get new appliances in there. When you purchase a home, okay, for the first time you're buying that property, there are home warranty programs that will cover you for all your appliances in there. So you can, once they pass inspections, okay, and they show that they're working. After that, you go right back in there and you get all that stuff re-warrantied up, okay? And then when it breaks, you're good. They come in there and they replace the parts that need to be replaced, or they replace the item because maybe the parts don't exist anymore, so they give you the next model up on your refrigerator, washer, dryer, stove, water heater if they cover it, AC. Okay, so be smart, plan ahead, and your investments won't hurt you later. Right? That's the name of the game. That's how you get smart with your properties and move forward. And you have those properties and you're making your income. Okay, you're probably going to make $2,400 a month from that second property, plus the one that you're currently in. They're paying their bills. So at the end of the day, after bills are paid on that second, I'm pulling everything out of the air. So we just say you're making $1,800 a month, okay, because from the second property, you're making $1,800 a month cash that you would not have normally seen. Okay. And I'm just pulling things out of my head. Like it gets really detailed. If you want to have an actual spreadsheet, I have one that's pretty awesome. Okay. And then if we get, into the nuts and bolts of things, then we need to have things like vacancy percentage and things like that when it comes down to making sure that all the dollars and cents are eliminated so that you can see your true net at the end. Okay, vacancy rate, how much your expenses are for all your line items that come out depending on what goes bad, and whether you're paying for lawn maintenance, and then the if there's an HOA involved, things like that. All the small things. I'm getting past all of that. I'm just making this real slick and easy. Okay, so that you could just understand my point. What I mean, if you're wondering the difference between the commercial and the real estate and that transitioned over, is that 4 units is residential. Once you hit that next unit, you're commercial. So here's where the game changes. So you decide, you know what? I'm going to stay in my duplex. We're going to grind it out. We're going to stay there for 10 years because the struggle is real and I have big goals. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sell that duplex because the market is looking great 5 years later. Okay. And you sell it, and what? We bought it for $250. We're going to use that number again. And let's say for whatever reason you sell it for $325. Okay. And you pay the mortgage down. I don't know. You paid the mortgage down to, you were real strict with it. We'll use some ballpark numbers here. Let's say you got it down to like $150. All right, we're going to say you got it down a whole $100,000 more. We're just really reaching right now. $100,000 down. You got the PMI down. All these crazy interest rates and all that stuff. You just really tackled it and got on top of it and, tightened up like you needed to, right? So by doing that, okay, you're capable now of taking that cash and you want to get smart. And you're like, I heard of something called 1031. What is that? Is that like a police code? Yes, but no, that's not what this is. In this case, okay, you're rolling it over without paying the whole tax game, and there's time limits and there's stipulations that are involved. But the point of that is rolling your investment over without actually touching the cash. You're investing up, so you're going from a sale or an investment that was $250,000. You sold it for, what did we say, 300, and so that's 350. Let's just make some big chunks here. We're pulling numbers out of our asses now. Okay. But 350, but you're going for a 6-unit small multifamily building. And you're like, I'm really going to do this, and I'm going to borrow, and I'm going to put down 30%. I'm gonna try to have 30% ready to go, and you're able to do that. And let's say we find an incredible deal, okay, and you make that happen. You have just become a commercial investor. You're investing in commercial property now, all right. And so that's just one example. It doesn't have to be a residential, multifamily commercial property. When we talk commercial, the game really opens up. Okay, you could be, I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe you're capable of purchasing a small plaza, a little 3-bay plaza. You got a quick stop in there. You got a smoke shop in there, and then you got a hair and nail shop in there, right? And you got 3 tenants, and it's in a small place, and the little plaza's going for like $800,000, okay? And for some reason, you're capable of buying that. My point is there's several ways to invest into commercial real estate. And the stepping stones begin with that first property you buy. Don't buy a house and jump into it and it does nothing for you. That just doesn't make sense. It's not even your dream home. It's not where you want to be. If you're thinking you're just going to buy it to flip it and sell it again, then you lose, because then you don't get the opportunity of trying to do it as with the multifamily or investment type properties. It doesn't work out the same way, right? I mean, there's ins and outs, and there's obviously more than one option, but the smartest one is to jump into a multifamily property. Get a tenant, let them pay your bills. Get smart. Not everyone's capable of doing that. With money going up and down and cash losing value and things like that, which is not going to happen that fast. We're talking about next 20, 30 years before the dollar really starts becoming insignificant, in my personal opinion. Maybe it'll be longer. But people are losing faith in it, which is why they're going to cryptocurrency. It just makes sense, right? That's a whole nother conversation. We're just going to stick to real estate right now. And for the commercial people, when you're looking right now, I can tell you some really interesting data that I actually pulled from a few contacts that I have with Keller Williams on the commercial side. I just wanted to read this to you. It says commercial loan interest rates can move quickly with the market. So many investors are constantly trying to stay on top of the most recent interest rates to know if they're getting a good rate from their local lender or if they should probably shop around, right? Additionally, it is useful for investors that are in the process of deciding whether or not to refinance a commercial property that they already own. Commercial loan rates are currently in between 2.12%, 2.12%, and 13.12%, depending on the loan product, of course, right? For conventional commercial mortgages, the current rates are between 2.12 and 6.33%. Okay, if you're going to go hard money, I can tell you those numbers are from 9% to as high as 12%. I think I've seen right now. All right, so just be smart about how you're making your commercial investments moving forward. I can tell you that today's commercial loan rates, I gave you the conventional one, 2.12 to 6.33. USDA rates are 3.25 to as high as 6.25. Private banking, okay, is 2.12 to 4.58. Insurance rates are right around 2.8 to 5.5 to 5.6. Okay, CMBS rates 3.38 to 4.81. Bridge rates, okay, if you're doing a bridge loan, is 4.12 to 13.12. Numbers get kind of crazy. SBA 504A is an alpha, are 2.67 to 3.12. Construction rates are 4.75 to 9.75. Okay, SBA 7A is an alpha rates are 2.25 to 5.75, and mezzanine rates are 4.88 to 9.31. Okay, I gave you those numbers so that you understand, because a lot of what they look at, these lenders, they're looking at your LTV, your loan to value, and they're looking at the DSCR. Okay, that's your debt service coverage ratio. Okay, it's very important. DSCR numbers are what tell lenders exactly what they need to know on whether or not you're going into a successful product. There it is, guys. I wanted to drop that serious knowledge on you. I probably got a little too detailed for some, and some people just got lost. I'm sorry. Play it back. Listen to it again. When I do get all the way engulfed into real estate, this is how I talk. Okay, so this is how deep it kind of gets for me as I try to help people that I'm dealing with expand their horizons and actually become extremely successful at what it is that they're doing. Thank you guys for checking in. Go ahead and like, subscribe. You need to tune in, all right, and stay on top of what it is that I'm passing on to you, because it is relevant, it is current, it is up to date, and that's just what I do. I take this very seriously. I don't get too silly with my real estate, because it's the real deal. Okay, real estate is king. And then, you know what, as much as people keep having babies and getting hungry, they need land to grow food and live. And that's when it comes right back down to real estate. I'll see you guys. Take it easy.